first things first, how do you sign into SmartPass? You use Clever, our single sign-on tool that we have. Now, this only applies to primarily teaching staff. If you've ever used Clever before, SmartPass should be loaded in there now. If you do not have a Clever account and you've never used Clever before, there is an alternative way to get into SmartPass, and that is simply by going to this website, smartpass.app.app. Okay, so that is the only other way to get in, and then you would click sign in. Going back to the way that most of us are going to get in, you go to Clever, click login with Google, and then immediately you should be dropped into the landing page. You'll see your account at the top right corner, and then you just click SmartPass. That's step one. Okay, so you signed into Clever, then you signed into SmartPass using the Clever dashboard. For those of you who need to use the SmartPass app, we'll talk about that in greater detail as needed. Now, when you get into SmartPass, there will be a simple landing page. You can see it right here. And the main thing that you need to focus on this page, if you are trying to create a hall pass for one of your students, is these two buttons: Create Pass Now, Create Pass for Future. I'll show you an example for each. So let's just say right now, I'm assistant principal, Mr. Garland. I have this terrible kid, demo student 2, just tearing up the mean streets of Northeast. I click next after I find the student that I want to write a pass for. Its first thing is from where. So let's just say they're in my office, main office. Then I can send them to ISS. Maybe they had a really bad day. They need some time to collect their thoughts and learn from their experience. I can click ISS. They certainly are not coming back, so it's not a round trip. I'm going to make this a one-way pass. And I can change this to say 3 minutes so that they can go to their locker, get what they need to be successful for the day, and then go see Mr. Johnson in ISS. I can then click Send Pass. And as you can see, there's an active pass for that student with that 3-minute timer beginning as soon as I click Send. That student then would be able to see this on his or her dashboard on their Chromebook. And if, say, a hall monitor was out patrolling the halls, they'd be able to see that that student is out and about as well. We'll talk about hall monitoring later, though. Now, another feature, future passes. Let's say that I am a leader of a club, organization, group. Obviously, we are not fully there yet as far as building student groups. That's something that I might ask for your guys' help with in the future. But let's just say that I really need a student to come finish a test during tutorial. Okay, demo student 1 was out with bronchitis last week. I really just need him or her to come and see me during tutorial tomorrow. So I would click tomorrow's date. Let's just go with 11 o'clock a.m. I can go ahead and then click, and it is declinable. You can change this if you want it to be mandatory. You can change it, but I can click next. And then again, where do I want them to go? I want them to come and see, let's just say that this is for Mr. Yushchek's math class. I can search for him and then just deliver a message and just say, Mr. Yushchek is formally requesting that you appear in tutorial today to make up the test you owe from last week. You do not have to type all of that. You can keep this as formal or informal as you want. That's up to you. But you can see tomorrow at 11 o'clock from wherever they are to wherever I want them to go. Next. This would probably be a one-way trip because they're not going to have a ton of time. Going to certain classrooms is set as a max of 10 minutes. We can adjust this on the fly when we need to. But anyways, I can then send that pass request. So again, that would, instead of going under active passes, this will go under my sent requests. And I can see who it's for down here. And I can see, when and where. Also, when you hover over a student, That's kind of a nice little feature. You can see how many passes they've had, where they've been going, things like that. That's more administrative side of things, but it also is important if you have that chronic bathroom visitor during your class and you see that he or she is also gone during first, second, and third period, and now they're trying to go in fourth as well. Well, maybe that's a conversation that we can have with that student and his or her parents at that juncture. So this is helping us, again, kind of monitor how much they're using certain facilities within the building. So that's how you create a pass for the present and the future. Next, we'll be looking at how students can create passes and what that looks like from a teacher perspective. All right, so I just showed you what it looks like for a teacher to create a pass. Now, what if you're a busy teacher and you have no time to do this for every single student, and who could blame you? In most cases, whether it's a paper sign-out sheet or a digital sheet like we've been using Google Forms like some teachers have in the past, it usually was the student who wrote it all down and the teacher that just simply gave the nod of approval. So that's what this is ultimately going to look like, and this is what I would actually recommend that most of you do. Let's say that demo student 1 really just needs to go to the bathroom right now, okay? So this student is in, let's just say that they were in the office waiting for me to see them, but I'm busy dealing with that darn demo student 2. So demo student 1 really needs to use the restroom. The closest one from the office would probably be the 300, let's just say girls restroom. Demo student 1's a girl. They, Tracy, myself, Bill, we're all there. Lindsay, Benny would be here as well coming up. But let's just say, because I already have my account open, that they send the pass to me. They can type things here. They don't need to. They can skip it. Maybe they're not asking for 7 minutes. They know that I need to speak with them soon, so they're asking for just 3 simple minutes, round trip, sending that request. Now, they've created their own pass. If I go into my passes now, so under my teacher account, under home, same place where I created those accounts, I now have a request here from demo student 1 to use the restroom. I can approve by clicking this button, or I can deny or attach a message and deny. Again, this is an interesting example because obviously my situation is unique, but if I just wanted to approve this, I could click approve. That starts an active pass that's ticking away. Those 3 minutes have already started. On the student side of things, they see the exact same thing that I do. That's one way that a student can write a pass. Let's say they really would like to write their own tutorial pass like we showed. Same thing, future. So, that's on my end, sorry. On the student's end, let's say that they want to end this pass. They want to write their own tutorial pass for today. Same thing, let's do tomorrow, 11 a.m. And they're asking to go from their homeroom or their second period class. Let's just say that they are in the library. Okay, and they are asking to go to Mr. Denovics. And he could send the request to Mr. Denovic. I would like to complete my exam. Next. 7 minutes. Oh, no, sorry. One way for the remainder 10 minutes. They can send that request. Then this request would land on Mr. Denovic's landing page under requests, and he would be able to confirm or deny. Maybe he's got 10 other students who want to take the same test at the same time, and he doesn't feel comfortable doing that with his room full of students he already has. That would be up to him at that point. So again, that is now how students can write their own passes. So, as you saw, students require permissions. They require approval before their passes become valid. I showed you what that looks like from my perspective. We're going to review that again next. So since I already kind of showed this, I'm going to keep it pretty brief. Demo student 1 wants to create a pass right now to leave my room. Again, we'll go with the office. and let's just say that they want to go see the nurse. They're asking me to approve their pass. Again, maybe they're just really not feeling well after, meeting with me. I get it. I understand. They're asking for a one-way pass to go see the nurse. Obviously, Kim's office is right down the hall. I'm going to give them 1 minute to get there. I could just click send, or the person could then send me a request. All you have to do to approve a pass on your side of things as a teacher is under requests. You see the demo student 1 and where they're asking to go for right now. You can approve by clicking this button. You can deny or, give a reason why and deny here. That's it. That's how you approve passes. So if it were me, I would have my students create the pass so I don't have to. They're the ones that want to leave. They can do the legwork. All you then have to do is wait for their request to be in that received section, and then you do what you want to do. I would approve this. It would become an active pass at that point. It leaves my request section, and I can see exactly who's out and for how long they've been out. That's what I would do. If it were me, that's exactly how I would handle this hall pass system. Put the onus on the students. You are simply the approver or denier of those passes. All right. So now not only do we have our ways of writing passes, the next thing up, almost all of you have some sort of a hall duty at some point in your daily schedule. For those of you who do, there is a wonderful tab called the Hall Monitor tab. As you can see here, I have 2 active passes, one for Demo Student 1, one for Demo Student 2. I could create a whole bunch more of these so you could see a more realistic, view of what this would look like. But what I can do is I can click the Hall Monitor tab, and I can see every single person in the building who has an active pass. So I can look and see, that this Demo Student 1 is supposed to be in the Math Girls restroom. Demo Student 2 is in the Math Boys restroom. So let's just say that I am Mr. Becker and I'm sitting upstairs doing my hall duty, and I'm right there at that corner desk outside of Mr. Herring's classroom, and I see that Demo Student 2 did not, in fact, report to the Math Side Boys restroom, the one right across the hall from Devin Strimmel's. He actually went to the opposite side corner and used the Science Side Boys restroom, which was out of his way. What I could do then is I can click on this student. I can click these 3 dots. I can click Report Student and say, Demo Student 2 used the Science Side restroom rather than the Math side, and then just click Report. Now, administratively, what happens is I can then see, Mr. Becker's comments that say exactly that. And then if we have issues in the future where we have to constantly track this student down because they're constantly doing the wrong thing, we'll use that as evidence against them for insubordination or potentially, other violations that happen. I think it's very important to preach to the students early and often as we go through this process that they write down exactly where it is or type in exactly where it is that they're planning to go. Again, I will release a list of classrooms and where they should be using the restroom. Obviously, I'll be open to suggestions if I give you a location that you don't think works best for you or that you'd like to do differently. Let me know. But I would like to release that probably early next week as well, which restrooms each classroom or homeroom should be using. Okay, so that is how you use the Hall Monitor tab to see where students are and where they actually are supposed to be. The final tab that I'm going to just show you, or functionality of SmartPass, is this My Room tab at the top. If I go to yesterday, 21st, and I look at passes from the main office, I can see that I wrote Demo Student 1 a pass to the nurse, also a pass to the girls' restroom. I can then see demo student 2 was sent to ISS not once, but twice in a 3-minute span. It's pretty impressive. But I can do that for all of the classes that I'm assigned to. So for our special education teachers that are pushing into, like 4 different rooms or teaching from their own spaces, you'll have access to each and every one of those spaces in SmartPass, and those are all your rooms. So just like I have all of these different bathrooms and other locations that I'm assigning myself to, it's important to know that you can see every single pass that was written to or from your rooms. This will come in handy if a student is claiming that they had your permission to come and see you for lunch and you never gave them that permission, and we try to track that information down. We just need to make sure, again, the biggest component of all of this is we want to make sure that we know where everybody is in case of emergency. Also, just from an accountability standpoint, we just need to know where everybody is supposed to be and where they actually are. So yeah, that's the My Room tab. So that covers your home, your hall monitor, and the My Room. Are there other things that will come up? Absolutely. Do I think we have a long way to go before this is a well-oiled machine? Yes. But I would like to say thank you to Mr. Herring, Mr. Yushchek, and Ms. Jones for all taking on SmartPass as recently as about a week and a half ago. They're making it work. So before Easter break, they piloted this a little bit. They've continued to do it since. We've had many students who have been using it successfully. We haven't had any real complaints. We've tweaked things on the fly, so to speak, but there really haven't been too many major roadblocks to this being successful. If you need anything whatsoever, reach out. You know my extension, 1002, and you have my email. Again, we know that there will be things that come up, but just let me know, and I'm going to try to take care of them as quickly as possible so that we can get this thing moving. Thanks, guys, and if you made it to this point in the video and you listened to everything I had to say, thanks even more.